Welcome to another episode of Quarantine Cooking with Candace. Quarantine Cooking with Candace. We're going to say Candace and the cauliflower, or if they say in Italian, Cauliflower. That's, sorry, most Italian-speaking people, but that's one of the origins. There is also a Latin name, Cauliflower, which means cauliflower or groups of flowers. You would think that this looks kind of like a brain. It kind of looks like half a soccer ball. And you look at these at the store and you go, oh, that is way beyond my skill level. But they really aren't. And the wonderful thing about these is they're, believe it or not, even though it's not a green, it is full of nutrients. Magnesium and phosphorus and potassium, and there's a really cool one you don't hear very often called choline, and choline helps the outside of every one of your cells stay healthy, and it helps with our brains. Now, I don't really like to eat this raw because in several hours afterwards, everyone knows that you have eaten raw cauliflower or you have to go home. But so I like to cook mine, and there's a couple really nice ways to cook it, but first you have to know how to cut this baby up. So we take our very sharp knife that we've talked about in other episodes, and my tricky camera person is going to show you. I've cut some of the green leaves, just cut those off. They're just protecting the stem. And what you want to do is, you can see here, I'm trying to cut through like this. Envision that each one of these is like little stems, and I'm just cutting, I'm turning it and cutting some of these. Now watch, look what comes off. Boom, here's another one. Boom, they're all coming off. So we get this all trimmed. I'm still cutting down through here. Envision that they're just these little individual trees on this tall stalk. Here comes some more. Here they come. Look at, they're all coming off. Just with a slight, it's not real hard to cut through, hopefully. It's easy for you. And there you go. This, not very good. These, very good. So depending on what we're gonna do with this is how you cut these up. Now, you can leave them bigger. You say, oh, I wanna make mashed cauliflower, which I'm gonna show you how to do. Or if you're gonna make roasted cauliflower, take one of these heads, cut it that way, and you get the smaller little chunks, okay? So that's the dissection of a cauliflower. Not really that hard. It's okay, don't be afraid of this. So I'm just gonna put these aside, and I'm gonna show you, this will be for later. I'll give this to somebody else that eats it raw. The first one I wanna show you is roasted. It's delightful. It's got a great flavor. I just roasted a little bit of it. You can see here, these then can be put into a salad. You can chop up like Greek olives and some lemon, and you can put some lemon juice on them. You can even sprinkle this with Parmesan cheese. This is one of those things that a lot of people like. It's delicious, and it takes some of that raw edginess out of it. And so it's mild. I drizzled this with olive oil ahead of time, of course, and the salt. And so this is roasted. Very good. Now, I also boiled some. Now, when you boil vegetables, use filtered water. I don't even care if it takes you a half an hour to get it out of your refrigerator, because here's my new saying. Either you're going to use filtered water, or your body's gonna have to filter the water. So what do you think is a better option? Use filtered water. You don't want all that chlorine and fluorine and fluorides in you. So these have been boiled in my purified water. Okay, so we've boiled this. Remember, I told you my first favorite new saying is either you use filtered water or you filter it through you. I'd much prefer to use the filter. So nice boiled. What I mean is, again, fork tender. The fork goes through this without any problem. Now, whatever you have, do you have a food processor? I broke mine, but I do have a very high-powered blender here. I'm just gonna put all that cauliflower in there. And then, what's my favorite friend? Butter. Put a couple tablespoons of butter in there. Like that. A little bit of salt, just a little bit, because cauliflower really does absorb any flavor you put with it. And we're gonna put in about, we're gonna put in about a 1/4 cup of cream. This is heavy cream. It's okay. Heavy cream is not dairy. They take out the milk solids. And then watch, this is the best in the whole world. This thing is so cool. Let's make sure we've got it plugged in. That always helps. Right? And I'll tell you what, that's about all you need. This is, I had a young 17-year-old and his family over for dinner one night, and I served these instead of mashed potatoes. He didn't know the difference. Now, if we can get a zoom in on this, look at, it looks just like mashed potatoes, and it tastes just as good. I'm not kidding you. This is incredible. So, what did we talk about? Here's our mashed or our whipped cauliflower. Our roasted cauliflower. Wait till you see this one more time. Woo! I got a new batch going. The roasted cauliflower. Now, another thing is you can buy that buffalo sauce. You could toss this in buffalo sauce, I don't know, as an appetizer. You can put Parmesan cheese on it. But everybody says, well, what about that riced cauliflower? Here's what I do. Honestly, I buy this stuff. It is just not the fun thing. This one's peel off because it's the only one I could find at the store. Things are a little tight these days. Riced cauliflower, buy it. It's everywhere. You can throw it in soups. You can use it instead of a stir fry. It's awesome. But here we've got our cauliflower. This is really, once you unlock the cauliflower, it tastes really good and it's got high nutrients in it. Now tonight, I will tell you that cauliflower goes really good with white wine, and this is a Sauvignon Blanc from California. This is Quarantine Cooking with Candace. Enjoy!